Hey you guys, Geoffrey with Howells Carpet Cleaning here. Today we've got mainly this downstairs area, family area of the home. It was pretty heavily soiled with debris, so we made sure to give everything a good pre-vacuum. And as you can see, with kids, cherry tree sap and whatnot outside, it all just kind of comes into the house. So this is actually a place, this is probably one of the first homes that we cleaned with our CRB machine when I got that 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. So it was a really good testing area. The carpets came out absolutely beautiful. Those who use CRBs, there's really no smoke and mirrors to it. It really does an excellent job, and it doesn't take a whole lot of effort to get the desired effect that you're looking for. We're also going to go up the stairs today. This is going to be interesting because we don't have any light, so we're just going to have to do what we can with some sunlight coming in up there. And down here we'll open the window shade and see if we can get a little bit more light in here. But I vacuumed everything. Our little hand vac that we use on the stairways, smoke started coming out of it, so, and the beater bar stopped working, so either the belt is burning up and needs to be replaced, or I broke something. So, and I thought that I've broken it before, and eventually it's going to be replaced with an older metal model that is excellent, made by Royal. But until then, so what we're going to be doing, I got a couple little red spots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-treat it, or I have pre-treated already with a little bit of our Pro's Choice Red 1 stain remover. It's a synthetic dye, red dye remover, food coloring remover basically. So we're going to pre-treat that. I'm going to accelerate it by using our Black & Decker Steamworks steamer. Now this is actually like an 1988 or 89 model, so the only way you can actually find this particular one is pretty much on eBay, with people selling them. They are out there. There's quite a few of them, and they are pretty highly desired by the carpet cleaning community. I mean, I see all kinds of videos on YouTube with these and pulling out stains. One thing that's nice about it, unlike an iron, clothes iron that is used a lot of times for steaming out red stains, this will not burn the carpets. It doesn't get hot enough to burn the carpet, so you can literally set this bad boy on a red stain and just go about doing your work and let it steam, because it's not going to cause any harm. But anyways, while we're down here, we got a few tacky sticky stuff. I'm curious to see, I go over our chemistry of what we're using today. We're going to be using, I don't have it here in front of us, so I'm going to be using Backaway's Grease Hog with peroxide. So I hear that is a very good duo. So you get the high pH of the Grease Hog, but not so high, because we're not doing it full strength. We're doing it about half strength. So we're trying to keep the pH under 10. And then we are also using the peroxide. So the peroxide stuff is great for sanitizing, neutralizing, deodorizing, natural deodorizer, which is very nice, because then you're not having to use a bunch of extra products unless you're like post-treating for like really stinky smelly animal stuff. And then the what was I going off about the peroxide? And it also eats up all the organic stuff. So if there's milk and that sort of stuff in the carpet, it's gonna chew all, organic matter up out of the carpet. Whereas the Grease Hog, just like the name suggests, it goes after more like greasy kind of petroleum stuff that's buried down in the carpet. So it's gonna eat up, you know, greasy residues and sticky, tacky things in the carpet. So I'm curious to see if the grease hog and just running hot water is going to be enough to get these. I don't know if it's gum or candy, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe that there, I saw a few over here. I'm just curious to see if the grease hog is going to be enough to pull that up. It could be that we'll put down our pre-spray solution and our CRB counter-rotating brush is just going to pull all that stuff out of the carpets. But we'll go from here, and that's the plan, and we're going to see what we can do. First things first, I'm going to see what kind of results I can get out of that red stain. Alright, so I've turned it on, and it is running right now. It hasn't gotten super hot yet, so I'm just going to let it do its thing while we're looking around for other things that we can be pre-treating at the moment. But yeah, because this is, you know, 89, that makes this thing, you know, 18 years old, 19 years old. It's pretty old. So the switch on it went out pretty quick, so it always runs. It always runs. It doesn't shut off. So I'm just gonna let it go here for a while and look for other stains. Okay, so let me lift this off so we can see what we were able to do here. See what it looks like. And voila, you can barely see any stain there. So we'll treat it one more time and do it one more time, and it'll be completely gone. Now we've got another one here, so I treated that with our stain one, and I'm gonna go ahead and place the steamer on it right now and let that sit there for a couple minutes while this area cools, and I put some more stain one on it red one on there to get the remaining red hue out of the carpet there. Alright, so let's take a look at what we've got here. And as you can see, it's pretty much out of there. Now, we've got another red spot right here that I just saw. So, this area that we treated here, I'm going to go ahead and put this down. I'm going to take our red one. I'm going to treat that one little area. And then after about 30 seconds of the steamer going, I'm going to swap it and put it on that little red spot there. Alrighty, I'm going to do a switcheroo here. I'm going to go ahead and swap these two. Put that bad boy there. And as you can see, that spot here is completely gone. I don't even know where it was. I think it was right in ow, that's hot. Right in there. So, it's gone. And then we've got one more red spot around the couch there we're going to tackle in a moment. Alright, let's take a look at this. Pull this away. Red stain. That was a little bit still there, so let's stick it back on there again and take a look at it in a moment. Okay, let's go ahead and take this off. The screen is kind of looks weird because I think because of the steam. Anyways, red spot gone. I'm gonna go around to the other side and get this stain out from over there. Okay, now the red one stain remover that we put down here did do a number on this already, but the steam just accelerates the process and gets it out a lot faster. But that was a pretty large, nasty spot that came right up. Now, I'd also like to point out this Steamworks guy, when using a terry cloth towel and candle wax, you just lay that over the candle wax and set that guy on top of it, and it'll literally just steam all the wax right on out of the carpet and absorb it into the towel. And then if you have like a colored candle or something and you got some red or orange or what have you, you just use a little bit of that stain one or the red one remover, put that on there and steam it out the same way that we're steaming this out, and pretty much comes out every time. Now, mind you, it does depend on what the carpet is made out of. If it's a trashed polyester carpets, you know, buyer beware, it may or may not come out. It's kind of a crapshoot at that point. But with nylon carpeting, it pretty much guaranteed to come out 100%. And voila, no more. It's gone. Okay, I'm gonna go out and grab our pre-spray and start pre-spraying this area. Hey, so I was curious to see what would happen if we steam those black sticky spots, and yeah, they came out. So same thing here. Those black sticky spots came out, but it left some residue that we're gonna clean up with our CRB. Now I did stick this on another black sticky spot to show you what we did. We heated it up so that we would loosen it with the heat. And it basically just scrubs right out with a terry cloth towel when we go over it. So, yeah, so that's going to make our job pretty easy. But, yeah, the steamer, multi-purpose, it does an awesome job. Alright, so I basically let my curiosity get the best of me, and I took the steamer over every single little sticky, tacky anything that was in the carpets, and it all pretty much all came out. Right now I'm working on a furniture stain. It looked like it was in there pretty good, so it may have been just some hardcore discoloration, because with the beige carpet is basically made up of yellow, red, and blue, and a combination of those three to get blue. So when you have color loss, one of the predominant colors in that mixture is going to be the result of it, and there's a bunch of yellow in there, so it may have caused color loss of the blue and red that was in there. But I'm steaming it and see what happens here. It's been on there for a minute or so. Let's pull it off and see. It looks like we may have got some color pulled out through our rag. So it definitely looks a lot lighter, but I have a feeling that might be permanent. We'll give it another go and see what happens. Some stain 1 by Pro's Choice might be able to get that furniture stain out. I don't know, again, like I said, if that is permanent or not. All you can do is give it your best go. Right now I don't have any stain 1. I'm just using some red 1 because my distributor is out at the moment. Other things that you can use for red stain, if you're doing El Cheapo, you can use ammonia and go 50-50 with ammonia and water, and that is a pretty good stain remover as well. Whether or not that will work on furniture stains, I have absolutely no idea, but it does seem to work on red Kool-Aid. Okay, so I taking our Vacaway pre-spray. Again, it is Grease Hog and peroxide. And Jose out in Beaverton, I ran into him the other day, picking up some supplies, and he was the one that actually told me about this. And I've been doing stuff similar, but I haven't been watching all of Vacaway's videos to find out exactly what the chemists are doing. So I got another one of these nasty sticky candy spots. I put the Grease Hog and peroxide solution down there pretty heavy. I'm just going to let it dwell for a couple minutes, and then I'm going to take the CRB and go over it just to see what it does as far as chewing that up. If it doesn't get it, obviously know that this steam works that's going away, or pulling stains out over there at the moment. That will easily pull that out, no problem. But anyways, I'm just going to see if the grease property of the citrus has enough oomph to go ahead and just rip that stuff apart. Okay, this is kind of hard to see in there, but as you can see, that furniture stain that was going on in there is faded out almost 90% or more. There's still a little bit of yellowing in there, which stain exit may or may not be able to pull that out. That may be permanent discoloration at that point. I don't know, but we've sat this thing on there for probably a good while, upwards of 5 or 10 minutes. So I don't know if putting it back on there, if treating it again with the red 1 and steaming it out again will do anything. We might as well try it. And while it's going, I'm going to go ahead and run our CRB over that sticky nasty stuff. Okay, we come over to where we just, what is that sticky nasty stuff? Okay, this is what it pretty much reduced down to. It's like taffy, that Laffy Taffy candy stuff, or fruit roll up or something. There's that one there, and then there's a red one there. So we're gonna go ahead and steam these out because they're just sticky, tacky, sugary. You know, it's just matted in there. It might even be gum, who knows? But our Steamworks guy should be able to pull that out. Okay, I just stuck our steamer down there, and it's just gonna melt away at that candy, and then I'll come back and absorb it up with that terry cloth towel. Under the table here, voila, it looks pretty beautiful. I mean, there's a tiny bit left, but we pulled that furniture dent out, and if you weren't looking for that yellow discoloration, you'd probably never see it. So I think we'll leave it at that, so we don't mess with the integrity of the carpet fibers down there. We'll come back over here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull this off and then rub that candy out and absorb it up with that terry cloth towel. And after working at those gum areas for a little bit, we were able to pretty much melt it down and absorb all the stuff with that. I'll probably pre-treat it one more time and run over it with the CRB just to break down any residual residue left behind by the sugar and stuff there. And we're just gonna have to go through this room little by little and move stuff around as we go. So we're just giving everything a real good pre-spray, good agitation, and go from there. Alright, I want to give this a quick show and tell. That's what we did here. Remember, this was grease hog and peroxide. High pH, pretty much chewed up everything on the carpets. They look beautiful. I mean, literally, they look like your carpet has just been cleaned. However, I know that there is a year or more of soil accumulation built up in these carpets. So, it would not do anyone any justice to do this and then just leave, because it's that soil accumulation in the carpets that's causing the damage. It wasn't all the little candy and stuff that was stuck all over the carpet that made it look ugly. So, having said that, I'm going to go ahead and pre-spray and agitate everything else that's in here, and then we're just going to wand it, because that guy right there is doing all the soil suspension for us. There's absolutely no need to run a restoration tool over this. Granted, if you had a restoration tool like a 360i or something like that, you may not even need the CRB. But I like this because it helps to groom gunk out of the carpeting, whereas a 360i, it is a very versatile tool. It does tile and all kinds of stuff just by swapping out the brush head, which this guy, technically you can do tile with it by switching out the brushes, but the 360i is a little bit more versatile in that aspect. But go through here, and it actually looks pretty good. Hey again, this is the CRB on the other side of the table. We got everything out. We found one more red spot. I just put our stain one on there, or red one stain remover on there, and I'll just let it do its course rather than pulling the steamer out, just because I already put everything away. And that's what we'll do from here on out if we run into any more red stuff. So, great looking carpet. So all we've got left is this area here once we move the bench out of the way, and the area in front of the entertainment system. And then we will fire up our truck, run our lines in, and do a quick steam out with our wand, and everything should look absolutely beautiful. Brand new looking carpets. And we're pretty much going to take the same process, or at least the same cleaning solution up the stairs, and then we're just going to use our upholstery tool here to do the stairways. A lot of guys like to have a stair tool I still think I like this better, even though it takes longer. I feel like I have a lot more control and I'm able to get more moisture out of the carpet with this thing. Okay, as you can see, we just emulsified absolutely everything that was pretty much in the front room area there. Went through, pretty much got everything. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly does this CRB get out of the carpets when it's grooming? Well, this is all the kinds of nasty stuff that gets buried deep down in your carpets where your vacuum cleaner is not going to reach it. Obviously, my vacuum cleaner didn't reach it, and I got one of the most powerful vacuum cleaners on the market, and it wasn't able to get it. Thanks to Mr. CRB here, we were able to extract all this crap out of there. Would a wand get that out? I could say there might get 25, 35, 45% of that out, but there's a good portion of it that it would never get out. For instance, anything large like this, personally I've got a glide on my wand, and that just breaks the surface tension, so it makes it a lot easier to push the wand across the carpet. But there are puny little holes in that, so it's not going to, it rinses water because that's what it's supposed to do, but it's not going to be picking debris and things up out of the carpets. So, I mean, if it's greater than sand, size of sand, it's probably not going to be pulling it out. And sand's pretty heavy, so it's going to be down deep in the carpet anyways. So, this here is a very neglected step that a lot of carpet cleaners just wave their hand at and say, hey, at least the carpets look pretty on top. But Howells Carpet Cleaning ain't about that. Alright, I'm going to show you the importance of agitation with our pre-spray. See these carpets? There's quite a bit of debris on these carpets, spots and things all over. Again, I apologize, the lighting is really, really bad, but you can see the spots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to agitate these with our hand brush that we have here and show you the difference. Alright, I've just agitated the stairways with our pre-spray solution. As you can see, it pretty much pulled pretty much everything out of the carpets. We will go over it with our upholstery tool, like I was saying. And yay, we got light up here, but as you can see, steps are clean, no nasty stuff on them. There is one red spot. We'll just take our red one, and it was in here somewhere, right here. We'll go ahead and get that guy, and he should be out of here in probably 10 or 15 minutes. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I feel really good about the way that this turned out. I mean, this is like the ideal, perfect scenario. And I truly hope that Rosa and her husband will be completely thrilled with the way that their carpets turned out. Let's take a look at the upstairs real quick. As you can see, the stairways turned out absolutely beautiful. I gotta come up here to shut the light off. Unfortunately, I've got little footsteps, so I should probably grab our carpet rake and rake those out, because those pristine, unwalked on carpets is part of the wow factor. So, the idea here now is to shoot Rosa a link to this YouTube video so that her and her husband can share it with their friends on their lunch break at work. Just because it's sort of a fun way of sharing the good news. So anyways, Howells Carpet Cleaning, Geoffrey, 503-939-0534. And who's next? Give me a call.